Welcome back to the Willis Podcast. But check out, we got a nice show for you tonight. Let me go ahead and get my design and graphics all the way nice and right for you real quick. But we get into the play. But we do the play. The play is, you know how to do the play. The play has to do with the theme. Theme of the show tonight. Theme of the show tonight is we're gonna have a mental illness discussion. I could have chosen a lot of titles, but I wanted to go with the mental illness discussion because let me get the chat running too, since we gotta get the chat running. Yeah, we're gonna do that too. YouTube, here we go. Let's get the chat. All right. So let the show begin. Welcome back to the Willis Podcast. How you guys doing, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, so check it out. Mental illness discussion. We're gonna talk about a few things that has to do with mental illness. Most definitely. I could have, like I said, I could have named the show a few things, but I chose to name it mental illness because of the fact that you have to really understand is mental illness the persons that has endured, maybe have been born without any type of discrepancies, but also what has been placed upon a person and the experiences that they have went through, what made them so mentally ill. The social construct, their parents, their environment, the older sister, the older brother, later in life, cults, leadership, society, enclaves. It doesn't matter. That mental illness came from something. That trauma, that mental illness, there's one thing to be born with a mental illness, but there's another thing to actually not know you have one. The things that are in your subconscious, the things that you're like, oh man, wait, why do I have a tick, or why do I think like that, or is even some things that people try to qualify as a mental illness is not a mental illness. Maybe it's environmentally based. Is that how some people end up with affluenza and things of that nature? Think about it. Think about the actual elements of how people end up with mental illnesses. It's thin line between trauma and mental illness in the first place. Let's be real clear. Very thin line. So why so many people are mentally breaking down at the drop of a dime is because of what reason? Is it past traumas? Is it generational trauma? Is it things like past unlearned behaviors that create trauma? We really have to divulge into these different ways of thinking that we inherit and don't choose. I hope you understand those things, man. That's very real. It's a reality. Mentally sick and, it's like a them versus society type of situation when you look at organizations and groups, them versus us. It always has to be a war. Always got to be something that's at a begging argument for some people because of how they want to think. Some things and sometimes people actually create their own situations because they are so unaware about their mental illness. Or is it an illness? Or is it an awakening? Big question, right? So if let's think about it the other way. Let's think about the world we live in. And a lot of people are not really in some sorts balanced to be in certain particular parts of society. Some people are a little bit more sensitive than others. Some people are not even aware of their sensitivities. Some people aren't even aware of their circumstances because situational change. So can you call them crazy or is it conditional? I would say they're not crazy. I mean, the things that we are experiencing right now in today's world are not normal. We are at war. I mean, we're not the so-called president is. You know, he's at war with Iran all by himself, and whoever volunteers to go dare to go with him. You know what I'm saying? So that's like that's not a societal norm for some countries. It is. Most of the globe, it is absolutely not a societal norm. And the beautiful part about some places that are even melanated and never even experienced war, don't even know what war is, haven't had to even deal with it because some people are so isolated. And those are the beautiful people. Hell, those are the people that are the blessed ones. So I hear all of us argue every day. People argue about we're the lost tribes of Israel. And how good are you? How much malice do you keep up, and how much do you know if you thought about if you wrote have you even broke down the world Israel, ISIS, Ra, El, Elohim? You ever broke that shit down? Like for real? Have you ever broke it down? And you want to call yourself that? That's fine. But you even have to know the source of situations before you go to talking about certain things. Let's just be clear. But let's get back to the mental illness aspects of things and what creates it, the root of it. The root of it all is basically environment. Who you surround yourself with, what you was born into, how you were raised, who you let into your life, people that you have not, people that you have trusted, but weren't able to trust because they seem to have violated you. So all of these, and sometimes it's a conglomerate of things that causes these type of, you know, traumas. And you have to keep moving forward in life, not acting as if they didn't exist, but you have to pivot yourself into understanding that they did exist and you have to work through those situations regardless because if you don't work through it sooner than later they're going to haunt you or they're going to keep up with you or you're going to never remember that you never got resolved. That's the purpose of communication and understanding the aspects of just building relationships so that you can have likenesses and you may have a strength that that other person doesn't have and vice versa and you can continue a journey. It may not even last forever. It may be for a specific amount of time, but at the end of the day it was an experience. But does it have to be good or bad, crazy or conditional? Some people have all type of different bonds, but you don't want a trauma bond. They're the worst. They're coping mechanisms. You understand what I'm saying? They don't supposed to last because they're not built to. Too much trauma, too much uh I would say resentment, too much uh too much baggage